Frozen and canned foods have excellent nutrient retention compared to fresh. This is part of the Nutrivore Day Today series. We're kind of wrapping up, but I wanted to emphasize that eating in this nutrient focused way with sustainable nutrition in mind, so really looking to adopt healthier eating patterns as healthy habits instead of dieting. This doesn't need to be an expensive way to eat. Yes, whole foods are more expensive than their ultra-processed counterparts, but there's not a nutritional or health advantage to buying organic. There is a bit of a nutritional advantage to wild-caught seafood or grass-fed meat, but especially when we're talking about seafood, you're talking about such a nutrient-dense food, even when farmed, that if that's what you have access to, that even the canned, farmed version, that's a great choice. So I just want to emphasize frozen foods, frozen vegetables are awesome. Sometimes even more nutrient dense than the fresh version. Same with canned foods. Sometimes the canned version of a food is more nutrient dense than the fresh version. That's true for pumpkin and tomatoes, canned fish with the bones, like canned salmon or sardines. And we've talked about the wiggle room in the relative ratio of animal proteins to plant proteins. Really, if you're getting those 3 servings of seafood per week, the rest of your protein could come from plant proteins. Talking from a nutritional perspective, not from any other dietary priority perspective. And that would be much more affordable. So yes, whole foods are more expensive than ultra-processed foods, but a whole foods diet does not need to be as expensive as a lot of wellness influencers would lead you to believe. The difference between the bargain basement version of a food and the highest quality fancy gourmet packaging version of a food, nutritionally, is not very high. It matters much more what types of food you are eating than the quality of any one of them. And there's a lot of myths about food quality out on the internet. That's why I have an entire chapter dedicated to busting those myths in my book. The book is called Nutrivore, and it's available wherever books are sold. And if it's not at your local library, you can put in a request for it.
My view this morning. It is too hot to not be wet. That's what Soka says.